Hey friend, Ryder Christopherson here again with another First Listen Review. Just got done listening to Metal Church's brand new one, Congregation of Annihilation. I don't know, I kind of like the title. I know it sounds a little bit metal, but it's metal, so why not? Hey, so basically, there's only one dude in this band that was there from the beginning anymore. That's Kurt Vanderhoof. And the funny part is, he wasn't even in the band the whole entire time, so it's kind of a strange deal with these guys, but I've kind of found these guys way back when, not the first album, this was like in '86, me and my best friend were sitting around watching Much Music, Canadian station. His parents had a satellite or something, I can't remember, but anyway, there's the only friend I had that had Much Music, and I remember seeing Watch the Children Pray like constantly on that station, and I was like hooked right from the start. Went back and bought the debut album, and which of course had the cover of Highway Star on it, and loved both those albums. And then I remember when they were going to switch vocalists, and they switched to Mike Howell. He came from Heretic, and then I think David Wayne joined Heretic for a little bit there, and then formed his own band. It's kind of like they switched singers, something along those lines. I have all those albums too. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to them because this album I was kind of digging. It was kind of cool. This is the first album with a brand new singer, Mark Lopez. Because in case anybody doesn't know, Mike Howell passed away in 21. Killed himself, and don't know what circumstances were there, but it's just a horrible thing. It's weird when I have musicians that I've loved and they commit suicide. For some reason I just find it hard to listen to their music, and I don't know why. I don't really have a good explanation for it, but it's really hard for me to go back and listen to the music. It takes me a while for me to go back and listen to things again when that's happened, and unfortunately, there's quite a few of them out there that have done that. So, unfortunately, that's beyond tragic. Just beyond words to explain why somebody would do that. But anyway, this is the first album since that has happened with brand new singer's name is Mark Lopez. I think I already said that. And so I wasn't really sure, what to expect, what kind of, route they would go down if they would try to find somebody that sounded like David Wayne. They actually had Ronnie Monroe sang lead vocals on 4 of the albums, who didn't really sound like, he sounded probably more like David Wayne, because Mike Howe had a really unique sounding voice. I don't know how you copy that voice. He had a very unique style. I've never heard anybody else sing quite like that. He just had a tone to his voice that I've never heard replicated. So I was kind of wondering, what was gonna, what this was gonna sound like, the new singer was gonna sound like, and as soon as it kicked in, first song, Another Judgment Day, it sounded a lot like David Wayne. Not gonna lie, he does have his own unique style to it as well. You can tell it's not David Wayne, but let me tell you what, when he hits the high notes, it's like eerie how close he sounds like David Wayne. So I actually really like that about the album. It kind of brought back memories of what these guys sounded like. I had flashbacks to my childhood listening to this band. So that was cool. I love it when music does that. It's like music is the best time machine. It's like there's nothing like it. And even though I'd never heard these songs, that it sounded like old Metal Church. The fact the whole album does, but at the same time, you can tell that it's progression. They're obviously older, so they've gotten better at their instruments. Actually, there's only one guy was the same, but he's gotten better. He did a lot of the songwriting, even when he wasn't in the band. He had a lot to do with the production, and he did a lot with the writing. So he wasn't completely away from the band and had nothing to do with them. He actually was still involved, just kind of on the sidelines. And if you ever have the chance to check out the band Presto Ballet, that's Kurt Vanderhoof's side band that he did there. He actually had one called Vanderhoof too, which it was okay, but Presto Ballet was cool. It was kind of reminiscent of 70s type rock. very organic sounding, and actually Ronnie Monroe sang on a couple of those albums too. So that's really worth checking out. I really like those albums. But anyway, back to Metal Church here. This whole album is like, it's just like one killer song after another. I was really impressed. A couple of the highlights though, Children of the Lie had like a really cool breakdown in the middle of it that kind of slowed down, and the little breakdown with the bass guitar and the drums going, I thought was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I skipped over Congregation of Annihilation, the title song there. That one is just rips. It's like, that's just full ahead metal. I wouldn't really call these guys thrash, but that one kind of borderlines on it, and some of the other ones here on there kind of borderline, right on the edge of thrash, but I would still consider them a metal band. Probably my favorite song on the whole album was the fifth one, Me or Nothing, and he just sings some killer high notes on that one, and it was once again just eerie how much it sounded like David Wayne on that. But anyway, our next song on here, Making Monsters, had like a really kind of a weird intro. I wasn't really sure where that one was going to go. It sounded almost like something Presto Ballet would do actually, and then it kicked in with the metal sounding riff. One thing I did notice at this point is like a lot of the guitars back in the the earlier stuff, there's a lot of power chords. Metal did a lot of that. They have a few riffs, but a lot of it's just power chords, and not a whole lot going on other than just big power and singing, and not a whole lot of riffing going on at the same time. Whereas this one had a lot of that going on. There's a lot of like melodies going on in the background. There's a lot of more intricate guitar parts that are not like really up front, but you can hear them going on in the background. That's when I really started picking up on that. I was like, oh yeah, there's a little bit more stuff added in here that maybe they didn't do on some of the earlier stuff. I mean, it was there, but like on this, there's a lot of that stuff going on. And there's only like 9 songs on the main album. I'm not going to go through every single one here, but like the rest of them, just it's the same thing. There's one good riff after another, some great singing. I was really impressed with this album. If I was to rate just the first 9, because I did get the CD with the bonus tracks on it, and the bonus tracks I probably could have left without. I probably would have been happy with just the 9. The bonus tracks were okay, definitely not the strongest ones on the album. They weren't bad or anything. The production sounded actually a little bit different on the bonus tracks, and they weren't as strong a songs as the first, the ones that are actually the 9 that they're calling the album. So, that in mind, I would probably rate this a 9 out of 10. That was really good. I really liked it. The production was great. The playing was great. The singing was great. If I was to like, it was almost like it was the first album, The Dark, and then this one would have been next in line. I think if you were to go down that style of music, I love the stuff that Mike Howell did. Blessing in Disguise, that album, I wore it out. In fact, there's a song on there called Faith Healer, which, or actually it's Fake Healer, and I really enjoyed that song. Like, it was, I think it might have been the first single, but I tried to like come up with a riff or a song or something that had that same feel to it, and I failed miserably, but I really, really liked that song. I remember just trying to come up with something that sounded like that. So, I mean, I love the era with Mike Howell. I'm just saying that this one feels like it maybe would have been like the next one in line if they had progressed without getting Mike Howell in the band. But anyway, that's just like maybe just a little offshoot in my opinion on that one. So all of our opinions, they don't have to always agree, but this is kind of the way it felt to me. But anyway, check it out. This is worth checking out. If you like Metal Church, you don't like some of the stuff they did in the middle years there, well, don't worry about any of that, because this sounds like early Metal Church to me. If you did like some of the stuff they did in the middle years and you like the early stuff, you're going to like this album, I think. So worth checking out. If you got anything else to add to this one, like as always, feel free to say something down in the comments. I love the conversations. There's posted a couple of things, recently I haven't done much for a while. He had one smart ass there in the bunch, had something smart to say, but I delete that stuff. I'm not going to have the negative on the channel. So if you're gonna come here doing that stuff, don't bother. That's not what this channel is about. This is for guys who like enjoying talking about music, and that's all we're here to do. Just have fun talking about the bands we love, and that's the way I'm gonna try to keep it. So, with that being said, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff I always ask for, because it really does help, and it just keeps more people seeing this, more people involved in the conversation. That's all it's for, just having fun. So, until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. See ya!